In this row right here, I have 5 little tomato plants. So you can see them along this row. And they're getting big enough so they need to be staked. So instead of staking each individual one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a post, see the post there, and then I got some posts down yonder, and we're going to build like a little trellis for our tomatoes to not run on, but just to support it. And I'm going to show you how I do that. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my post. This is just a regular old, I guess it's a 10-foot post. And I'm going to drive the end that don't have this on it in the ground. Reason being, I don't want to, because I'm going to have to drive more than that in the ground, and I don't want it to be so hard to pull out, because this is not going to be permanent, just long enough for the tomato season and the life of these tomatoes. So that's why I'm choosing to do it upside down. And you can use any post you want. I mean, this is post of your choice. You could use whatever you got on hand. So start by driving this right here in the ground, right at the foot or the base beside your tomato. And I'm going to do the same thing on that end down yonder. Alright, I don't know how good you can hear me, but I'm just going to, I can't reach that way up there, stand on the bucket. Now, this is not recommended safety-wise, but that's what I got. So that's what we're going to use. At this point, you can check how level your post is. Get down and look at it this way, and I can see it's leaning, so I'm going to just push it that way, drive it more, and then you get on this side of it, you know, see whether it's this way or that way. So push it that way, get back up there, you drive it till you think it's in the ground good enough. So however far that is for you. Like I said, adjust this as you go. Talking about the levelness, you can get technical with it, put a level on it. I ain't too worried about it. So just do this to this side, and then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side and meet you back when I got that done. As you can see, it ain't the straightest. That one down there is a little crooked, going kind of that angle like that. But all I did was drive it, and like I said, it's kind of crooked, but hey, it's going to serve the purpose we want it to serve. And down there too. So from here to there, I don't know how many foot that is. I'm going to guess probably 15 foot maybe. So now that you got those drove in the ground, you want them actually like the same height. So if you want to take like the top of this and look that way and see, you know, they're about the same height. You could get technical with this, but it ain't that big a deal, not at this point. Not for what we're trying to do. So next step is going to be, you're going to want a piece of bamboo. And that's what I got right here. And it's probably, you know, that big around. And I'm going to take it and just lay it upside the post and cut it to the right length. And this is what I mean by laying it up next to it. So, I mean, it's all the way over there and all the way over there. So it's pretty long. It's a really long piece. But you can use the other piece you cut off for something else. So I'm going to come down here and show you this end down here. So you're going to want a little more than, see, here's your post. You want a little sticking past that on both ends. So that's how you're going to measure it. You know, you're going to come down here, do the same thing. And this, there's method to the madness, I promise. So down here, since there's a, I don't know if you know anything about bamboo, but there's like a little solid piece here and it's hollow through there. So solid, hollow, all throughout. That's what bamboo does. So just to keep from being on the solid piece, we can go a little bit further on that end and say cut it about right there. So this is up to you how long your tomato row is. That's how long mine is. So just cut it to how you see fit. This would be a lot easier if I had a, one of them battery powered sawzalls. So this saw ain't the best either, but that's good enough. So that's how much we cut off here. It's probably it's pretty tall. It's over 10 feet, so that we cut off. So that was a pretty big, long piece of bamboo. And you can cut that off there, or just do like that. And now, what we're going to do is, now that we got our length here, you're going to take, I don't know if you can hear me, you're going to take this end, you take your knife, like any kind of bigger knife, and you squish on the plants. And you're going to just make a notch in here. I'll show you what that means. So like, I got this at Harbor Freight for like $8. So what I mean by putting that in there is, you're going to take it and you're going to notch it about halfway. So let me see if I can show you what I mean by that. So let me demonstrate. So see how you got the end of this, get the end of that circle. You're going to take your knife and put it about halfway like that on the end and put you a notch in there. So that's what I'm fixing to do. So basically, take you this or anything you hit it with, put it about halfway like that and just hit it. So that's what I mean by putting a notch in it. All I'm doing is going about halfway down it. And we cut past that little solid piece I told you about. That's about good. You just want enough to shove onto your post. And like I said, it's going to make sense in a second. So I'm going to do the other end the same way. Also, right quick, I wanted to mention, since you're your split, that's what it looks like. Since your split is going this direction, vertically, you go on, come on this end of your bamboo, and you're gonna want another vertical slit right down the middle, just like you have on the other end. You want them to match. You wouldn't want to come and do it like this. You want to do it the same direction on both ends. So now that I got that on there, I'll show you what I'm gonna do with this. So here's the split here, and you can see that. What you're gonna do is, here's your post, and on both ends, try not to tear up your tomato plants at this time. You're going to open it up and shove it on there, like that. So that's going to be shoved on there. Now at this point, you got an option. You can leave it like this, or you can put a notch in it to help it stay better. This is totally up to you. I mean, it's going to stay like it is right now, and we're going to take and we're going to wire these two ends like this, so it's open like this, and when you wire it, it's going to like do like this and move it to itself and force it and put that tension on there that you need. But I'll show you what the notch looks like, the notched one. I've already done one like that, and I'll show you how to do that. But you have that option. It's just a little bit more time consuming and complicated. Like, you ain't gotta do it, but you have the option, and I'll show you what that looks like. So let's go look at that. So right quick, if you have a hard time envisioning what's going on here, I'm walking over here to my other little tomato patch, or tomato little spot, and we'll show you what that looks like. So here we are right here, and this is what I got. Let me show you. So here's my tomatoes here, and if you'll see on this end here, as far as I can zoom out. So what I did was, this is a smaller piece of bamboo, but what I have done is I cut it on the end. You can see here, notched it just like we did the other one. These ends have curled in just because it's dried out some. And then I made like a little notch like this just to fit the post in between, so you don't have so much bulk on the outside. That's an option you can do. It's more time consuming and a little like harder, but it ain't that bad. And to give you more of a vision of what I'm fixing to do over there, see how I got my running down there connected to my other post, and then I have some yarn here. And what's going to happen over there is, as these little plants grow, you're going to wind your tomato plant around this string. And this is just regular like yarn, and you can tighten this up, like put more tension on it as the tomato plant grows, and it's just going to go up there and connect like that. And you're going to do that. See how there's this little string is sagging and that's just blowing like that? You want it like tight, however you want to put it. So you just come up there and, you know, tighten that up there at the top. So that's what we're aiming for. Maybe showing you this will kind of maybe give you a better vision of what I'm talking about instead of me just telling you. Okay, so I'm back over here in the other piece, and so to show you, I'm only going to do the notch on one end just to show you how I do it. So here's your bamboo, and this is the piece that's going to, kind of like that's your post, this is the piece that's going to slide on here like that, like this, it's going to slide on about that much. So to make that little square notch looking thing, you're just going to take and saw it just a little bit. It's not that loud. Careful not to cut yourself. I have done this, cut myself before, just being so close like this. And this part is so rough, just saying. And this is much, much easier with the Sawzall. She's going to go about a quarter, a third of the way with a little notch like this. You're going to do that here and there on both sides. Okay, so since this bamboo is so, what's the word? Freshly cut, I guess. You can just take your finger like this, and I've already did it to this one, and I'll show you how to do it to that one. Take it and you just bend, and it just popped off. So then you create like a little square. And you can do the same thing on that side. The hummingbird. See it? I hear it. Probably see it. Yeah. You see him? That's the first one I've seen out here in the garden. Anyway, back to this. That was cool. So, you're going to take this right here, line it up about the same, so take your saw, I don't know if you can tell what I'm doing, and about on the same other side, do the same thing. So about the same width. So, see there? Made two little notches. I'm going to do the same exact thing that we did there. And if you find that those don't pop off real easy, you just take a knife and just pop it off. But since this is fresh bamboo cut, they'll just pop straight off like that. Oh boy, it's fine. That came off. So, what you've got is this. Like that. That one came off. No big deal. We still got a piece of it on there. So this is what pretend post like this wired to it. So let's go put it on. Okay, so we're back over here. We got our notched piece here. And open it up. Like that. I don't know if you can see that. Let me show you. So, see there? That's what you're looking for. And you could have made it a little smaller so it would fit more snug around there. But once I wire this, I'm going to put my wire running here and then there. It'll kind of like notch down in grooves because I'm going to wire it to it. And I'm not going to do the notch on the other side just to show you the difference. So let's go do the other side real quick. I did it. Okay. So, you're going to have to come up with some ingenuity. I think I know what I'm going to do that. We're going to try and fix it. We're going to get it done. Okay. So with a little bit of ingenuity, I guess is the word, we have made another piece to go on our end that broke on us. So since this is the bigger end of that other piece of bamboo we cut off to start with, got a hole. Here's our piece. Extension. Just like that. So that's pretty cool. So this is our part. Extended. And you could take, if you want to, drill you something in there. I'm not going to worry about it too bad because I think it's going to be fine just the way it is. Shammed on there like that. So let's put it on there. Where there's a will, there's a way. And we did it. We got it on there. So what I'm going to do is, I wonder if I should do this in first. Or that over there. I'll do this in first. So I don't know if you could tell the way I did that. Took and made my notch all the way through. Just like we did in that other end. Made my split. And then this end's bigger. So it just fits over the other end like that. Let's try it. Hope this don't split. Okay, don't split. We did. So this is my piece right here. It's just on there. We'll go to the other end and do the same thing. So I have it on there. That's what it looks like. And I'm going to take a piece of wire and I'm just going to pinch it as much as I can like this and take me some needle nose pliers and wire that to this like that. And once that's wired, you know, you're going to take and maybe come down here like this with both ends and wire it up under the bottom like that. So you'll have it on both sides. Just like that. So it ain't going nowhere. I just did it there and underneath there. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Down yonder. And here's where I like pieced it together. So hey, it's going to work. So I'm going to wire that real quick. So I got that on there. Wired it down there. It's not wanting to focus. So that's what I'm talking about. See how it kind of like went down in there in that little groove? It's going to hold it on there real good. I mean, I'm pulling up and down. And the only thing that's moving is where I shamed it together. But other than that, that is on there and it ain't going nowhere. So, and now you're going to take you some string and run it from here down to your plant. I'm going to do that to every one of them. And like that, all of them's tied up. I tied them at the top all the way down. And just made like a little knot down there on the bottom. And then as it grows, you'll just wrap it around it. And there you go. There's your trellis for your tomatoes. And this is lightweight up top and sturdy. Something sturdy holding it on the ends. So, there we go. Tied it up all the way down. All 5 plants. And once these little guys over here get a little bit bigger, there's a row of them there, we'll do the same thing. So I hope this helps. Hope this teaches you a little something I have learned even today doing this video with my little uh-oh right there. But we figured it out. So go out, and if you need a tomato trestle or runner or stake, here's an idea.